What's up, guys? Welcome into my first Atlanta United video. It's going to be just like my Liverpool videos. If I start to do them, I'm going to maybe have single videos pointing out single things, or for this one, it's going to be a game recap for Atlanta United's 1-1 draw versus Orlando City. I'm also going to talk a little bit about how I think they should proceed after this game and for the future of this season. Just to point it out, if you didn't watch my last Liverpool video, you can go check that out. It was a game recap for their preseason game against Blackpool. I also talked about in that video, I haven't had a haircut in 3 months, so it looks terrible. But we move on because you don't have to have a good haircut to talk soccer. So that's what I'm going to do. So first of all, I'll just give a little quick game recap and talk about what it meant, and then talk about how I think they should proceed. So first off, Atlanta United tied 1-1 to Orlando City, and I personally didn't actually get to watch this game. So this is kind of more of a reactions video to the game rather than a complete game recap. But I saw the highlights and I kind of looked around to see what people were thinking about the game. And it looks like Orlando could have scored a lot more than one goal. Just even in the highlights, I saw Nani hit the post. I saw a couple chances that Brad Guzan had to save. There's clearances off the line. It looked like Orlando was pretty dominant in the game. But Adam John ended up coming up with a brilliant header in like the 92nd minute in stoppage time. It was a gorgeous header, great ball from Jake Mulroney, and now Atlanta United stay undefeated at Exploria Stadium, which is pretty big. John also went up and shushed the fans of Orlando. It's big for Atlanta United fans just because of that so-called rivalry between them and Orlando City. Orlando City did beat Atlanta United 3-1 at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. There weren't fans there. There were fans at Exploria Stadium. It all gets kind of confusing. But Atlanta United tied 1-1. And what I've heard from the game, it seems like there were tons of poor giveaways again. It seems to be continuously happening for Atlanta United. They just don't seem to have it clicking. Those poor giveaways make it look like they maybe are a little worse than they actually are. Apparently, they didn't play that well. They're trying to do attacking soccer. Still doesn't seem that much of attacking soccer with those poor giveaways. They just seem to be struggling a lot when, they come onto the field and they just can't quite click with each other. Why that is not exactly sure. Personally, I think it'll be okay. They just need time to click back into that mode with Glass. But I'll talk about that a little bit later, what I think they should do to probably try to fix that. Barco was subbed off again. Maybe he's still not match fit, but he seemed very frustrated in the, what game was it? Inter Miami game, I believe it was. He got subbed off, or maybe it was the Orlando City game as well. He got subbed off and he was not very happy. So you got to make sure he stays happy. Jurgen Damm, he seemed to make a difference when he was on the field, apparently. Looks like someone that continues to make a difference. And he's yet to start, and is he really not match fit? Do they not start him for another reason? We'll have to wait and see. But that was really that game. It seemed like kind of a poor game from Atlanta United. Once again, Orlando City showing as the better team. Probably not a good sign for Atlanta United, but at least they got points. And one very big positive out of the game is that it sounds like they continued to try and never gave up, which is something that we like to see from a team as they continue to push till the end of the game, and they're never out of it. But that's it for that game. Moving forward to what I think Atlanta United should do in the future, I guess. Or not in the future, but just moving on in this season to be successful. So they're struggling as of late. The thing that they really need to do is they kind of need to turn it around. Not necessarily right away, but they need to turn it around pretty soon at some point if playoffs want to be reached and are something that they want to do. And first off, you have a new manager. Frank de Boer's out. You have Pity Martinez is gone. Right before he left, he was quickly becoming like the guy for Glass's Joseph Martinez and Ezequiel Barco list at Atlanta United. I mean, he was the guy going forward. He was the guy trying to score goals. Without Barco and Joseph Martinez, he was the guy. So it would have been interesting to see him and Barco for a little bit longer. It wasn't meant to be. But the way that Darren Eales spoke in his press conference before that game that he was sold before, it seems like they will sign a designated player, or at least attempt to sign a designated player before the end of this window, which is interesting to see who they end up getting. Is it going to be someone just like Pity Martinez that is the Almiron replacement? We'll have to wait and see. A big thing that's happening right now is there are rumors that are continuously circulating around the departure of Ezequiel Barco and European clubs coming in to buy him. As we've seen with Pity, whether Atlanta is looking to sell or not, they will accept a good offer if it comes in. They won't be hesitant to accept that. Maybe different for Ezequiel Barco. I think Barco is Atlanta's best and most important player, probably with or without Josef Martinez on the field. If he stays, you have to keep him happy. He's going to be the key going forward. You're going to have to almost try to build your team around him as long as Josef Martinez is not on the field. Now, talking about a new designated player, I think the most important thing to do right now is to figure out who your next coach is going to be. Preferably a coach that is known for playing attacking soccer. Stephen Glass has come in and he obviously is trying to get the team from that kind of dull Frank de Boer style that they were playing to a more attacking soccer, which is going to take a little bit of time. But whatever it means, it's going to take time. So if your plan right now is to get a new coach, you need to bring in a new coach right now. You need to bring him as soon as possible, someone that you like, someone that is going to play attacking soccer, and bring him in. Either that or you got to commit to Glass right now and say that he's going to be your coach going forward and then build around him. And then once that new coach is decided, like I said, build around him, find designated players, find one designated player, find other signings that fit their style. One of the biggest problems under Frank de Boer that we were seeing was the drama between him, Pity Martinez, Josef Martinez, Ezequiel Barco. They all didn't want to play a style of play. They lost the dressing room. They didn't really want to play for him. None of them were really happy to play, excited to play the soccer that he was asking them to play, and that becomes a pretty big problem. Now, another thing that is very important is the midfield. The midfield has been struggling a lot recently, so they really need improvements in the midfield. The really big problem with Atlanta United, I think, ever since they won MLS Cup, is they've never replaced Darlington Nagbe. Nagbe was the key to that team. In my opinion, he was the key reason that Atlanta United were able to win MLS Cup, because he was the guy, could get them out of tough situations. He was always an option in the midfield, and he was able to turn it and go from defense to offense like that in a split second. Could Jonathan Gonzalez be that guy? There was some talks of him coming from Monterrey. I think he'd probably be a designated player. Maybe they go back after him, given that they have that money from the Pity Martinez deal now. Who knows? When and where does new signing Eric Lopez fit in? When is he going to play? Seems like he might stay with Atlanta United too. Who knows? Because you need a designated player spot. Maybe he comes in now because Pity's gone, but I think they'll probably go and buy someone given what Darren Eales was saying. Now, one of the big things is there needs to be patience in this time of transition. It's going to hopefully, according to Darren Eales and what it looks like they're trying to do, be a small time of transition, a little time of transition, but until a new identity is set in place for this team to follow, I don't think it's going to be very successful, because once you set that identity in place, which is probably, in terms of what Darren Eales wants, going to be a more attacking style soccer, more attacking style team, you're not going to be able to build off of it. There's going to be a time of transition once you set that identity. So the sooner the better. As fast as you can set that identity, they need to set it now. So, as much as people have blamed the offense so far, I don't think it's necessarily the case that the offense is terrible right now. I think there's been injuries and there's been other problems that have made it look worse than it actually is. You have to look at the star of the team, Josef Martinez, is out with an injury. Barco has been out injured, and now Pity Martinez isn't there. They've brought in a bunch of new people into the front line. You look at the likes of Eric Torres. You look at the likes of Jurgen Damm. You look at the likes of Matias Rossetto. All of them coming into the team should help that attacking flow. They need a little bit of time to set in. Brooks Lennon, Jake Mulroney. There's a lot of players that you talk about for an attacking standpoint. Midfield and defense should be who they're looking to sign. Other than the new designated player, if they think Pity Martinez leaving, they need that other attacking presence. They should be looking to sign other players in midfield and defensive positions. That's my thought and my opinion. But my predictions for what actually will happen, for what Atlanta United will do, I personally think they're going to sign a new coach, probably from South America. Given who they've gotten in the past, it will probably give the players a lot of hope that they're going in the right direction, and it'll probably be someone that plays attacking soccer. I can almost guarantee you that. Either it's going to be someone that plays attacking soccer, or they're going to stay with Glass. And I think they'll sign a new DP, as soon as they find someone they see fitting, whether that's after they've signed a coach or not. I don't know, but as soon as they find someone fitting, they're going to sign him, because they know it takes a little bit of time for them to adjust to MLS soccer. And I think once they do that, I think the Atlanta United of old, I think, will probably start to reform, but it will only go as far as that new designated player, new coach, and possibly new midfield take them, or old midfield, however far they can take them. I think it's big on what the coach, it's just a style of play. I think the talent for Atlanta United is there. It's the style of play, the coaching tactics, and possibly this new designated player could take them to new heights. Who knows? I think there is still time for it to see the Atlanta United of old, but it needs to happen now, and they need to take actions now to make sure that that's still a possibility this season. If not, time won't be on their side, and it could quickly turn into a season where they miss playoffs for the first time ever. But thank you guys for watching. That's all I have. Atlanta United tied Orlando City 1-1, and they need to proceed in making some changes just because of the sale of Pity Martinez and the struggles that they've been going through. But there is still a chance. I still have hope for this Atlanta United team to make the playoffs this year and become the Atlanta United of old. Thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and I will see you guys next time.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going, all I know where I came, when the sun sets, I hope that you remember my name, I don't know where you at, I don't know where you stay, when I run this money up, everything is gonna be okay.